Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Happy International Coffee Day, everyone. I know there's so many coffee drinkers out there who were likely enjoying a good cup of home brew this morning. That is, of course, our question of the day today. What is your favorite brew of coffee? You can chime in on social media. Plenty coming up in terms of local news as well. City Council going over a few grants as well. A number of other things on the go, including a look back at the border battle from the weekend.
Yes, that big hockey game that happened between the Oilers and the Calgary Flames. It brought out a lot of people, a lot of great audience, and great stories.
Indeed, yeah. We have more to come on that story over the course of the week. Theo Fleury, NHL legend, was in town for that. First, though, let's go out to Eric Bay. He was on location earlier.
Thanks, guys. Today we are here talking about Mount Joy and all that is coming up, including their second rib and steak night fundraiser, which will be happening at Three Trees tomorrow. And as you've seen these flurries here the last couple of days, that snow will be coming soon and Mount Joy will be open very soon. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect here, some of their classes going on in the winter, as well as how you can get involved, whether that be volunteering or as part of the board. So we're going to have all that and more throughout the show, but now we're going to go back into the studio and have a look at your local news.
The City of Lloydminster has a number of challenges in crafting the upcoming municipal budget, which includes deciding which applications for grant funding to approve. Josh Ryan has more on how several groups could benefit.
This fall, City Council has received 10 requests for grant money to either offset operating costs or help fund upcoming events or programs. This will require some tough decisions.
It likely will happen within the next 2 months while we're considering the entire budget to see how much we have available to spend on these different programs.
Some of the larger requests include more than $200,000 to the Vic Juba Community Theatre and $75,000 to the SPCA, the latter of which is short revenue now that the dinner theatre funds will go towards a new building.
We're really just trying to plan on constant revenue, something that's coming in every month, that's something that we can rely on. So we're trying to build that up. So really it's just to help us get in that right step forward.
One of the factors in these decisions is the direct responsibility the city has to different groups.
SPCA does provide other services, and maybe with some of those animals, they're looking for additional support that way. Vic Juba has a long-term relationship with the City of Lloydminster.
Like the SPCA, other groups' main issue is space and resources, such as the Lloydminster Interval Home Society, who had turned away more than 2,000 people last year.
We've decided to try to mitigate that, to increase our staffing to accommodate the people that are in need of help.
However, none of these requests will receive an immediate decision.
We're waiting on a provincial budget from the Government of Alberta to come out, hopefully the end of October. So we'll go through the city's requests to continue to provide the services and all the items that the city provides the community, and then we'll determine what we have to work with to work for those third-party requests.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News.
Students will be getting a face-to-face encounter with RCMP this school year, and there is a new resource officer in the public school division. Our Jasmine King has more.
If you guys call 911 right now, we'll be able to tell where you are.
That is Constable Siddell, the new resource officer in the public school division this year. This is the first year she has been a resource officer. She's taking the opportunity to teach the students about a few issues that may currently be affecting them in school.
We are working towards conducting some presentations within the schools. So there's a few presentations we are going to be conducting on cyberbullying. So that talks about, if you're using social media as a youth, what are some safe practices, and also what things you shouldn't be saying online.
The schools around the border city have only recently introduced the resource officers in the past few years. By having officers in school, they want to instill a safer environment while improving the relationship between the police and students.
It just makes it so there's a bit of a stigma where, police are going to come get you, they're going to take you away. We want that to be gone, right? We want it to be that if you're in need of help, you can go to us, you can come to police, you can call police. We're not going to take you away. We're here to help.
Constable Siddell's office is located in the Lloyd Comp, but she wants to be able to visit each school in the division weekly.
So my goal for every single 2 weeks is to be in every school at least once. So I have developed almost a 2-week schedule. In the comp particularly, I will be here on an average of 3 days a week, and then I spend a day at the middle schools. And then I have almost a floater day that I go to the elementary schools, whether at recess or lunchtime, just to interact with the kids.
Being able to offer the students a sense of security and someone they can talk to about serious situations in a safe space is what Constable Siddell wants students to know the most.
My door is always open. I have an open door policy. If the door is open, the kids are 100% allowed to come in and speak with me. I tell them, you can come and talk to me at any point. If I'm walking the halls, ask me a question if you have one. Don't be afraid to ask us a question, because we're humans and we're willing to answer.
Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Tickets for the 19th annual House of Paws Dinner Theater are going on sale this Thursday. For the past 19 years, House of Paws has been putting on a dinner theater to raise money for a new animal shelter in Lloydminster, which is something that is very important to them.
It's a lot of work, but we do it because we love doing it. We love supporting the animals, and we love putting on the play. We have more laughs at our practices and at our rehearsals, and it's just a fun thing to do and raise money at the same time.
And it is very humbling that the community has supported us with donations, with volunteering, with coming to the play. We have people that have come the full 19 years to support us, so that means a lot.
The tickets go on sale at 9 a.m. at Mel's Hair Shop, and every year tickets for Friday and Saturday night sell out quite quickly.
The doors at 9. We have one gentleman that drives from Saskatoon and comes up the night before and parks because he would like Saturday night. So Friday and Saturday do sell out much quicker.
Tickets are $70 per person or $560 for a table of 8. The evening includes a meal, silent auctions, and then a 2-hour murder mystery musical comedy. And now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here, and today we are talking about Mount Joy and their fundraiser here coming up, and Ray Tatro joins me now. So first off, can you maybe just give us a little background as to what the fundraiser does entail here tomorrow?
Tomorrow night we're doing a steak or rib supper at Three Trees Restaurant. We also have a lot of silent auction items. The corporate community has been very generous to us. One of the unique things about the Three Trees steak and rib night is that you can go anytime between 11 and 8 o'clock at night, have your choice of ribs or steak, and while you're there after 4, you'll be able to view some of the great silent auction items and help Mount Joy raise a few dollars to supplement our revenue for the winter.
And you mentioned that they're fundraising for sure, so what does that money, I guess, kind of go towards here for Mount Joy?
Well, we have a large list of expenses that are involved between snowmaking and training and operating the hill. We, of course, have a really good snowmaking system out there that we've expanded this year again. We generously received another brand new genset, this one from Halberton, one from Mantle Canada and Gear Energy. It's been really well received, and it sure makes our snowmaking operation a lot easier to produce good quality snow for our season.
All right, thank you for this, and we are going to have some more from back here again talking about Mount Joy and what will be coming up here very soon, but before that we are heading back into the studio.
Snow just around the corner for those wanting to ski. 4 degrees though right now in the border city, and it's actually going to warm up with a little bit of sunlight in the coming days. Cloud cover at the moment that will slowly start to clear over the evening. We're expecting a definite clearing by tomorrow afternoon. Your records 30 in 1992 and -9 in 1999, while the winds out of the south-southeast are around 15 kilometers per hour. So calming down a little bit from the last couple of days, but still a little bit speedier than you'd like, certainly for this time of the year. Satellite and radar showing a little bit of cloud cover this afternoon, though not much, just a bit outside Vegreville and Marwayne. Some snowfall is making its way down from the mountains. Again, that largely missing our local region. as well as in the Battlefords as well. There are current temperatures in the Saskatchewan side, 5 degrees in Meadow Lake, 5 as well in Prince Albert, 6 in Melfort, and 4 in both North Battleford and Saskatoon. So everyone well below seasonal averages. Will not quite get back to that average, but we're going to get close in the coming days. 6 degrees in Red Deer and 6 out in Whitecourt as well. Jasper, usually a little bit cooler than the rest of the map, sitting at 11 at the moment. Same for Edson, 9 in Rocky Mountain House. 4 degrees again in Lloydminster. Cold Lake at 5 degrees. North Battleford at 4 there. Provost is down to 3, while Mirnam is enjoying a little bit of sunlight along with 6 degrees. Edmonton at 8, and once again Saskatoon a little on the cooler side with plenty of cloud cover. Edmonton enjoying some sunlight, and most of these areas should have sunlight over the next couple of days. 9 degrees with a low of -5 tomorrow, and we're not expecting any precipitation. Some strong winds here and there, so some gusts in the 20-kilometer range, but a lot of sunlight. 9 degrees then, -2 for the low on Thursday, with again largely sun, and that will continue on to Friday with a high of 12 and a low of 2 as the wind shifts to the west-southwest and will calm down to around 10-11 kilometers. So good news for those who want a little bit of fall weather before we head into Halloween. That's your 3-day forecast. Your 7-day is coming up later on.
This past week's Boundary Battle of Alberta saw plenty of NHL talent hit the ice, but it also had some local talent partake. Our Evan Kenny has more in this week's Beyond the Boards.
While the NHL stars playing on Saturday are all past their prime, there was one player who hasn't hit his yet. Garrett Larson jumped in between the pipes for the Flames team.
Actually, it was just a really big honor. When Coach told me about it, it was really exciting because I know, like, the past year, like, just culture here is huge, and it's going to be a big game, and not many people, like, my age, nor just people in general can play in such a big game, and, like, what it has meaning to it, so it's a really big honor for me. Yeah, hopefully I get to that part where I stop something, but
Larson joked about this before the game, but he did more than okay against the competition. Former Edmonton Oiler George Larocque had a battle getting the puck past Larson, and after the first game jokingly said, "If he were to save one more, I would have speared him." Larson wasn't the only Bobcat to help the event. The team gave up their dressing room, coached the alumni teams, and helped run different stations on Saturday.
This town puts so much into this team and everything it goes through, the ups and the downs. For us to just give back for, you know, one night here and one day tomorrow, it's such a small gesture of thank you from us.
You know, it's just a good thing for the community. Like, even tonight, it's a big fundraiser for us. It contributes to our whole year, and tomorrow will be good to show our faces to the community. It'll probably be our first time for everybody getting to see us other than on the ice, so it'll be awesome.
The team rushed home from the AJHL showcase Friday night in order to make it back in time. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Center Auto Body. At City Center Auto Body, they can fix anything, now on both sides of the border.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here, and today we have been talking about Mount Joy, including their fundraiser, as well as some stuff here coming up throughout the winter. And Ray Tatro joins me once again. And now we did mention that fundraiser coming up here tomorrow. So how can people still get involved with that?
They could pre-purchase tickets, give Ray a call at 780-871-3919. But you can go to the Three Trees tomorrow, and we'd be happy to sell you tickets there between 11 and 8. Just mention that you're there for the steak night, and be much appreciated.
And now obviously we've seen with the snow here coming pretty early this year, you guys are going to be super busy here coming up, so volunteers is definitely important for you guys. Can you talk about the importance of them and how people, if they do want to volunteer, can get involved that way?
Yeah, Mount Joy was established in 1966, and it has been volunteer operated. But boy, we sure need lots of help again. Our website is mountjoy.ca, and we have our annual general meeting coming up on October 24th, 7 o'clock at the Legacy Fire Hall. And any volunteers, anybody that feels they'd have some time to put in as a board member and help bring a product and some smiles to some kids' faces and adults' faces, would be more than welcome to come there.
And now for those volunteers, do they need any, I guess, training, or what are some of the jobs they need? And again, that volunteers, is there any training needed, or can they just come out and learn as they go?
Well, definitely we have to have some trained people to lead in areas, but there's certainly jobs that anybody can do with some guidance. Everything from the rentals to the cashier in our lift ticket building to lifties, snow making, grooming the hill, prepping the hill, and instruction. We have a full complemented ski patrol program, and always we're looking for people to, hey, I'll lift my hand and I want to make this a better place to live.
All right, thank you for this, and we are going to have some more from back here again, talking Mount Joy upcoming fundraiser, as well as some of the stuff coming up here throughout the ski season. But before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
A look at your next 24 hours as the heat will drop quickly into the minus territory, unfortunately. Though, fortunately, we are only going to get down to -4 at its peak by 6 a.m., right back into the plus just before lunch, and we're actually going to get close to double digits a little later in the afternoon, peaking at about 9 degrees. Wind chill will play a factor, unfortunately, so because of some close to 20 kilometer speeds, it will feel closer to 6 or 7 degrees when it is 9 at the peak of the afternoon. But again, a little bit warmer than the last day or so, and we're going to get close to the seasonal average. 5 degrees in Regina, 8 in Edmonton, and 15 out in Vancouver. Mostly sunny skies through most of these areas. Winnipeg a little cloudier, 6 degrees there. Toronto a little bit of cloud, but they're still at 22 degrees. That should cool down in the next couple of days. 8 in Quebec City, 11 in Halifax, and 4 out on the coast in St. John's. Current temperatures on the Alberta side in this region. Again, Edmonton with 8 degrees, the warmest on the map there. Vegreville at 6, as well as in Lac La Biche and Bonnyville. St. Paul at 4 degrees. Vermilion at 5. Provost 3 degrees, as is Macklin as we head on to the Saskatchewan side. 6 degrees in Green Lake, 4 in Meadow Lake, as well as in St. Walburg, and Maidstone is sitting at 3 degrees. Everyone's several degrees, again, below the seasonal average. We should get within a degree or 2 for the next couple of days, and we'll of course enjoy a little more sunlight. Not any sunlight at the moment in North Battleford. Very cloudy with those south-southeast winds coming, which will, fortunately at least, calm down overnight when they get down to -4. Picking up again tomorrow, but plenty of sun expected with a high of 8 degrees. Cold Lake at 5, getting down to -3 overnight, but up to +11 tomorrow. And again, largely sunny skies. The wind will stay out of the south-southeast in that region. And here in the border city, 4 degrees with a low of -4. South-southeast winds staying fairly consistent through the next 24 hours, maybe picking up just a little bit at points tomorrow. But again, the average speed around 15 to 17 kilometers and largely sunny skies for the day. Same temperature on Thursday with a low of -2, then 12 degrees on Friday, kicking off a couple of days where it's a little warmer, though there is a chance of rain on Saturday. 10 degrees on Saturday as well, 13 Sunday, 14 Monday, and then 15 degrees on Tuesday, the low at 5. So those are definitely above the seasonal average, and some of the other lows you can see they're also above a degree. Wind shifting from the southeast to the west on Friday, and that should maintain for a couple of days before shifting back to the south on Monday, and we're not expecting any 40-kilometer gusts. So this at least will feel like relatively normal fall weather for the prairies. That's been your 7-day. We'll have question of the day and more coming up after the break.
Once again, we are back here, and today we have been talking about Mount Joy, all that is coming up here this winter, and Ray Tatro joins me once again, and now you guys do have your ski and snowboard school coming up again, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the ski and snowboard school is 6 weekends that you sign up for, and it's been very well received. We have totally certified instructors. The kids from novice, introduction to intermediate are broken up into classes, and the instructors teach to their level, and like I say, it's been very well received. Again, information for that is at mountjoy.ca. It's a pretty easy website to function on and get more information or register.
And now, once again, one of the things we've been talking about here is your fundraiser coming up here tomorrow, and this is the second year you guys are actually putting it on. So maybe tell us a little bit, I guess, the response from the community last year and what it's been like to get that response.
Well, being the inaugural year last year, we were very well received. We sold lots of stake tickets, and our silent auction items is what we expected. This year it's been phenomenal the way the corporate community has responded to the request for silent auction items. Some great stuff there, and you can purchase tickets at the event at the Three Trees tomorrow between 11 in the morning and 8 at night. It's steak or rib, so love to see you out there.
All right, thank you again for doing this, and we are going to have some more from back here again, talking the Mount Joy fundraiser going on, as we mentioned, tomorrow, as well as some of the stuff you do have to look forward to here throughout the fall and as we get into the winter. But before that, we are going to head back into the studio.
I'm sure there are many hardcore coffee drinkers here in the Border City and beyond. What's your favorite brew of coffee? That's your question of the day on International Coffee Day. Michelle Art Wilkes gets our comment of the day, or response of the day certainly to it, which is that homemade coffee, doesn't have to be any other particular brew, but homemade coffee while you're wearing your PJs is the best kind of coffee. Although I think some people might like to add a little more flavor to it for themselves.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That can always be super nice because it's warm, and if it's in the morning, that makes it even better because you can just sit on the couch with the coffee and just keep warm for the day, especially if it's a little bit cooler out like it has been. So that's perfect.
And it's definitely an all-day drink for many people, but more than anything, it's a morning drink because for many people, it's the start of the day, a kind of relaxing way to do it, or to really kick yourself into gear and get going as you head into work.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of people will have multiple cups during the day, or, you know, some people will just have that only one, and it'll get them through the rest of the day, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, definitely having multiple coffees throughout the day is definitely a common sight.
Yeah, and if you can get through the day with one coffee, doing multiple coffees in a day is quite the effect.
Yes, yes it is.
It is indeed. I'm sure if you gave coffee to an animal, that would be an even crazier effect. I wonder if any of these guys have ever tried coffee. That's Bandit first, submitted by Taylor.
Just a gorgeous, fluffy dog. I love him. Super cute.
Well, why don't you marry him then? Big Guy is next, submitted by Julie.
Very cute, sitting in the bag like a cat normally does, if it can find a spot to sit. I love the name too.
Indeed. Diablos. Thank you, Barb, for that one. That's a neat pick.
Gorgeous dog, obviously a lake dog, enjoying the water.
And next here we have Ruger, who's very into camouflage.
Very, very cute. I think it may be a raincoat or something, but super cute.
And lastly, Hobbs.
Just a handsome little boy wearing a cute bow tie. Super adorable.
And if you're going to submit a picture of your handsome boy, make sure the name is attached.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Welcome back. We're here with Kimo Mansaray with Lloydminster Local Immigration Partnership as a coordinator. Kimo, welcome.
Welcome, and thanks for having me here.
Glad to have you here. So let's explain what you do exactly. What is it that the Immigration Partnership Coordinator means?
The Local Immigration Partnership, as the name sounds, is a partnership. This is an initiative by the IRCC, Immigration, Refugee Settlement and Citizenship Canada. My role is to actually bring organizations, institutions, together so that we can identify the gaps, the needs, and the resources, and find ways that we can better support immigrants in our community.
How big of a deal is it here in Lloydminster? Obviously, there's a lot of different immigrants that I've seen. It's pretty eclectic and pretty multicultural here in Lloyd.
When we had the boom, there's a lot of immigrants here, and a lot of them are actually bringing families. So the immigrant population is growing. And it is integral that it's important that we actually find ways to attract more and retain them. Not only attract them here, but retain them in Lloydminster.
So how did you get into doing this? Obviously, you come from Sierra Leone, West Africa. I know the story. We'll get into that in a bit. But how did you get into becoming this?
I was initially involved in the ELIP, as it's called in Edmonton, the Edmonton Local Immigration Partnership. I was part of the founding members there who participated in the creation of that. So there was an opportunity for me to come down here. I have always loved giving back to my community, especially helping immigrants. So I then applied for the position, and then here I am.
Beautiful, and you're part of a lot of different organizations. Obviously, Lloyd Fest happened, and there's also a whole bunch of other stuff with the blanket ceremony that you guys did, and that kind of stuff as well too, right?
Yes, exactly. So when I came here, one of the things is what can attract and retain immigrants to our local community. I did a research, needs assessment research, and one of the things that was identified, there are not many activities that actually immigrants can relate to. So I happened to cross paths with Susan, who is part of the advisory council of the Local Immigration Partnership. So we talked about it, and that's how I encouraged her to create a nonprofit. I supported her, and we had the first Lloyd Fest, which was successful.
Beautiful. You do a lot of stuff here. Let's talk a little bit about being from Sierra Leone. Obviously, you were a refugee. You came here, you immigrated here after, or you were a refugee here. Let's talk a little bit about that. And you were shot at one point. Tell me a little bit about that story.
If you have watched Blood Diamond, it's a movie that actually depicts the war in my country, because Sierra Leone is a diamond place. And so I immigrated here in 2002, and my neck here, if you see, there's a big hole here. A bullet entered here and came out, and my parents were killed in that war. And I actually came here as a refugee in 2002, and I have loved giving back to the community because Red Cross actually saved my life during that war. So when I immigrated here, I always wanted to give back to my community.
Wow. Well, I know we're wrapping up, but I know about Red Cross and being a refugee. I'm a refugee as well, too. Lots happening with you. Where can people find you to find more information on your stuff that you're doing?
Definitely, if you go to the Catholic Social Services, that's where my office is. I am based there at the Catholic Social Services, and we'll be having the blanket exercise, so Diversity and Inclusion Forum, wherein I want to bring the indigenous people, immigrants, and locals in Lloydminster. So we come together and do some various things, and we'll be having that very shortly.
Beautiful, I love it. I'm glad we had you here. We're running out of time, obviously, but Kimo, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, and I'm hoping that we'll have more of these in the future to talk about how important we all are to Lloydminster.
Yes, let's have you back. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Here with Becca from the SPCA, and today she has brought in Holmes, this adorable, about 3-month-old male dog. Very, very cute.
Yep.
We were mentioning just a little bit that it will be a big dog for people, just to get an idea of when he becomes an adult.
Yeah, like we think, our best guess, as much as we can guess, we think that he might be Pyrenees Lab cross. So both large breed dogs. So I guess sometimes you never know. We had a dog come and visit us that was a previous resident of ours, and he was still puny. So and we thought he was going to be a huge dog, but yeah. So far he's about, like I said, 3.5 months old, and he's quite big already. So yeah, we expect him to be a big pooch.
And how did he come to the SPCA?
He came in as a stray. So with his brother Watson, he came in with. He's hanging out at the shelter still, but yeah, so we're showcasing him. But yeah, they were just strays.
And was there any medical issues or red flags that you found when they came in?
No, initially, you know, a little bit just from them eating garbage. They had some runny stool, but it's all cleared up. But, you know, obviously other than the regular kind of puppy poop, but yeah. They're doing really good. It's hardening up really nice, and they're all ready and good to go for adoption.
And would you consider these two to be a kind of go together, or would they be fine getting adopted separately?
They would be fine separately. The one thing we noticed with these two was that together, just them two, we noticed quite a bit of food aggression. So we think they obviously had to kind of fight for what they were getting before. You know, and being litter mates, they're kind of, you know, competing with each other. But we did a meet and greet with him and that other dog yesterday, and he was having a ton of fun. So the only issue we really see is he might have a little bit of food aggression when we're giving them the food. They just go for the food. They don't growl or anything at us. But that could be potentially something that needs just to be worked on.
And so he would be fine in a more than one pet home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Like I said, during feeding times, it might be something that you have to kind of work on, or just, you know, separate feedings kind of thing. But yeah, I really don't see too much of an issue with, you know, we obviously haven't tested them with cats or anything yet, but you know, like just going past kind of thing, they're interested obviously, but that's about it. And we haven't seen any other aggression other than with the food kind of thing.
And have you been able to see him, how he reacts with little kids or maybe even teenagers?
Pretty good. Like, you know, if no one's petting him, he lets them know he's there kind of thing. So he gets a little bit barky that way. But other than that, he's just, you know, love me, pet me. Yeah. And a little bit of a nibbler, right? So obviously, like puppy-wise, he needs a little bit more training. But yeah, he's happy to see everybody.
And he definitely loves the treats, as most puppies do. Anything that people should know if they adopt him training-wise, like what he already knows opposed to what he still needs to learn?
Yeah, like he seems to be learning sit a little bit. You know, today, like just kind of tapping his butt. He seems to go down quite easy. So, and obviously getting that treat after. Like you said, he loves his treats, so he's very treat motivated. If you have food, he's going to be listening to you. So I think, again, it comes with, you know, probably them having to search for food when they were younger, but I think it'll be something I think he'll be easily trainable. He's quite jumpy and nippy, like I said before too, but, you know, other than, you know, it's regular puppy qualities, right? So that all needs to be trained out of them.
Yeah, and really quickly, you have your Fall Feline Frenzy coming up this weekend. So do you just want to quickly talk about the fine details, like the when, the what times, and what people should expect?
Yeah, it starts next Monday. So I believe that's the 7th to the 12th. So Monday to Saturday. So all week while we're open. We obviously open at 11 o'clock, but we will start adoptions at 12 o'clock. So no one will be allowed to go back there, you know, just to kind of make it fair for everyone. But so 12 to 5:30 during the week and 12 to 5 on the weekend.
And the prices for the adult cats versus the kittens?
Yeah, so the adults, we're just going to do the $25 adoption fee, and then the kittens, we're going to do the $50 adoption fee.
All right, well, thank you for bringing in Holmes, this very energetic puppy, and hopefully the Fall Feline Frenzy goes as great as the Clear Our Shelter event.
Yes, we hope so too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.